Hello, I'm Ben, and you're watching Gears and Gasoline. We're talking about tires today, and what you should be thinking about as temperatures start to plunge and snow starts to fall. We're going to be talking about the three main categories of tires, and we're going to be giving you a little hands-on experience with each.
Okay, so the first segment of tire that we're going to look at is going to be the all-season tire, and this is arguably the most popular segment of tire. So the all-season that we're looking at right now are Falcons that are mounted on Ben's TSW Nürburgring wheels, and these are representative of your average all-season tire. They're made of a rubber that's a lot firmer than the kind of rubber that you would find on a summer tire. That's going to increase your tread life. The harder rubber is going to produce less friction with the road, which is going to mean less grip, but it's also going to mean less rolling resistance, which means get better gas mileage. You're going to see lots of channeling here along the tire, and that's going to help with water evacuation. There's also lots of siping in the tread blocks. Now what all that's going to do is that's going to mean that there's less rubber from the tire that's going to be contacting the road, which means less grip, again, just like with the harder compound. However, that's not what the all-seasons are about. These aren't the kind of tires that you're going to try and do on canyon runs. You're not going to use them for autocross or track days. These are your daily type tires. These are your road trip tires. And all of this stuff is going to help with driving the rain, driving the snow, and it's going to make the all-season a better all-arounder, better for all the seasons.
So we're out here today in my Subaru, and my car has all seasons on it right now. So we're going to take it around some back roads and see how they feel. So I'm driving on the all seasons now on some back roads, and that's really where they start showing their weaknesses. I'm not pushing it nearly as hard as I would be able to if I was on summer tires, and that's because these tires have a much earlier braking point, so I can't go as fast. So normally summer tires are going to grip a lot better on back roads, but they're not going to do as well in the winter or in colder climates like we are right now. But with these all-season tires, I can trust them all year round to have a consistent level of grip. I mean, you'll get better performance out of summer tires, but I know that I can keep these tires on all year long and not necessarily have any severe compromises in any area.
Okay, so now we're going to move on to what I consider to be the most exciting segment of tire, and that's the summer tire. Now these are the tires that are going to be putting down the big grip that you need when you want to do a canyon run or a spirited run on a back road, or when you're trying to put down a competitive time at a track or autocross. These are Michelin Pilot Super Sports, and they're mounted on Ben's Advan RS's. This basically constitutes his summer setup. The Michelin Pilot Super Sport is just a monster of a 300 treadwear summer tire, and it's honestly one of the most competitive summer tires in the segment at the moment. It is actually composed of a fairly non-aggressive looking tread pattern, but as you can see, it's got nice thick tread blocks, which mean that it's going to have more rubber to make contact with the road. And despite the fact that it's got so much rubber there, it's also still got plenty of siping and channels for water to evacuate from underneath of the tire when you're trying to drive in wet conditions. So it's really a double hitter. It's got awesome dry traction, but it is still a competent tire in the wet. The compound that's used to make up the rubber in these tires, these summer tires, is typically a lot stickier, but there's a drawback to that in that because there's more friction between the rubber and the road, it's going to wear away the rubber on the tire a lot faster. Summer tires are meant to operate in a much higher temperature range than winter tires or all-season tires, and when they fall out of that temperature range, the rubber becomes much harder than it's supposed to be, which means that you're going to lose all the traction that these tires are built with the intention of producing.
So now we're going to drive Ben's car, and Ben's car has summer tires on it, and since it's a little bit cold out right now, this is going to be interesting. So I'm driving Ben's Evo now, and he's got the Hankook RS3s, which are a 200 treadwear summer tire. And because it's a little cold out right now, they're not doing nearly as well as they should be. So summer tires are typically a softer compound. These are 200 treadwear. And because it's colder climates out right now, the soft tires end up actually hardening up a little bit, which means I'm going to have a lot less traction, and they're also going to wear down a lot faster.
Okay, so the last tire that we're going to look at is going to be the winter tire, and this is the tire that is going to have the most narrow range of use. You're typically only going to want to use it during your cold months, your cold season, your cold climates, because it has an operating temperature range that's very low. And so as soon as the tire starts to get hotter, work up into hotter climates, it's going to start to wear faster because it's a winter tire and intended to be used in colder climates. We're looking at a Dunlop SP Winter Sport 3D, and it's mounted on our buddy Rap's STI BBS. The 3D is a reference to these sipes here. Now these zigzag sipes are called Haka sipes, and the 3D refers to how the sipes are cut deep into the tread block, further down than you can see, but they go almost all the way down into the tread block. These are going to allow the tire to pick up a lot more water and a lot more snow that's going to vacate it away from these tread blocks, which means it's going to give you more traction. Obviously, these tires aren't going to give you the same level of dry performance that a summer tire would. However, if it's cold, these are definitely going to be the tires that you're going to want to be rocking, because people don't take into account how effective the compound and the siping design is on winter tires, and they're called snow tires for a reason. So if you're intending to drive this winter in any kind of slush or snow or ice, then you're definitely going to want to get some winter tires.
So this is our friend Jason's WRX, and he's already switched over to snow tires, which is a good idea because it's gotten pretty cold, but let's go see how they feel. So now I'm driving Jason's WRX, and he's got Winter Icept Evo tires. These are snow tires. And the benefit of these tires aren't really shiny right now because it's not snowing. Now, these tires in the snow grip amazingly well. I mean, it's unbelievable how much they grip. But right now, driving in the colder climates, it's driving just like an all-season would. It's not giving me any problems or anything like that, and it feels super planted and super safe. But if it were in the snow, I would be going up hills like it's no problem. So unlike Ben's summer tires at 255 width, these tires are only 215. And that's what you want if you're driving around in the snow, because you want a narrower tire that's going to cut through much better. And that's really what the purpose of these tires are, is they're going to go really well in the snow.
So if you're looking at buying tires for this winter, you definitely want to go first and foremost for a winter tire, like the Dunlop SP Winter Sport 3D or something like a Bridgestone Blizzak WS80. If you don't really want to get a tire that's so specific and you want to get an all-season, you totally can. I would just recommend that you get a sportier all-season that's intended to do well in the snow. You're definitely not going to want to run a summer tire like the Pilot Super Sport. It's going to get too hard and you're going to destroy your tire and have no grip. However, if we start getting into spring, summer, that's when you're going to want to break out these bad boys, something like a Hankook RS3. Just know that every tire has its own specific application, and you know what your needs are best. So hopefully with the information provided in this video, you can make the choice that best suits your needs. Once again, I'm Ben, and you've been watching Gears and Gasoline. Thanks for tuning in.